So today's video I'm going to go through my top 10 plugins and just briefly go through what I use them for within making tracks. First 4 plugins are ones that ImageLine are planning to depreciate, but they are still very useful while you can still use them. First up is the Fruity filter, where I like to utilize create sweeps and also use automate both low and high passes on drums and percussion for build-ups. Next is the Fruity Fast LP. Again, I utilize this to automate. The main thing I use this for is create that oscillator sound on synths or to wobble bass. The Fruity Bass Boost plugin I use in the final mixdown of songs, where I put it on the bass track and use it as a make-up gain when I've brought the mix level down. I mostly set it to 80 Hz and set the amount to 50%. The Slayer is just a simple guitar plugin, simple but really effective. It's got some good preset voices, its own amp, room settings and EQ. I've used for acoustic sounding guitar, bass guitar and some drum and bass growling sounds. Alright, on to the plugins that are 100% in the open. So we have the Fruity Delay. I use this mostly to make sound effects stand out more and have more life to them. The useful parameters are the time offset for tell, of the echo you want, ping pong to bounce between left and right, and the pan dial. Remember to experiment though. I really like the Fruity Reverb too, because you can visually set the room size and shape you want, plus use a few presets such as drumming. But that's not it, you can actually cut the reverb lows and highs, so you are pinpointing the frequency you want the reverb to affect. And of course we have the decay dial to set the tail. I use this mostly for drum mixes that are really dry initially. This next plugin is self-explanatory, but I can tell you that I use it to flange instruments. The sound you can hear in the background is a reverse piano flanged. My go-to preset is Bad Leslie, and I sometimes use the flanger to give bass lines more movement. Right, the Fruity Stereo Enhancer, another self-explanatory plugin. The Fruity Stereo Enhancer I use to give instruments a wider stereo field. I love using this for strings I've played live or structured in the piano roll. Gross Beat. So Gross Beat is my favourite for affecting drum tracks in terms of automation build-ups, like you can hear in the background, with the gate slowly opening. I also like to use Gross Beat to do automated drum fills without having to add a separate drum pattern. Number one is now we have good old Citrus, synthesizer with loads of settings and instruments to choose from. My go-to instruments are deep bass with the pitch set down and orchestral strings. So I couldn't have a top list of plugins without somehow including mastering plugins. So here we have it. EQO, I use the analyze function to get a rough idea of what would be a good curve of the frequency spectrum. Parametric EQ2, after meeting the EQO, I go into carving out the different bands of the parametric EQ, with the bands roughly spread out as shown. With the Maximus, which is essentially a multi-band compressor, it's simply a case of setting or compressing the different bands according to ear and have a good frequency spread. Fruity Limiter, I think this is ultimately my favourite plugin due to its simplicity. It's a limiter and a compressor, but I utilise it as a limiter to set the final master level, with attack and release both set to 1, ceiling set to -0.3 dB, and gain set to 0 dB for just that slight bit of last compression. So there you have it, my top 10 plugins with mastering plugins additionally included. You can find all the songs I've used in this video in my drum and bass mix. Like and subscribe and comment your favourite plugins, or mention any plugins you think I could have included.